before we get before we get started, I just wanted to show you my Valentine's Day gift for my girlfriend. She knows that I'm a narcissist. She just gives me a picture of myself to put in my house 24/7. What are you doing here? There it goes. Okay, so what I want to cover today is how to cold approach if you are a busy man. And I wanted to cover this topic because when I think of the questions that I've had from men over the years, this is something that comes up quite often. So maybe you're very focused on business at this moment, or you're very focused on fitness, or a combination of both, or even you have children. You might be a dad that went through a divorce and now you want to meet somebody new, and you're thinking, how do I fit this into my schedule? So what I'm going to share is what I did and I've done, and also what I've advised my clients throughout the years, and that has worked well. So first of all, I would recommend you, there's two type of people that give advice in this area. Ones that say you should do cold approach in your day to day, no matter where you are, no matter the time, no matter the where, just incorporate it into your routine. And whenever you see a woman that you like, just go and approach her. And I respect that advice, but when I tried applying it, what ended up happening is that I would be all day with this in my mind. I would be just walking in the street or just even in the gym anytime, and I would see a girl that was attractive, and I would be having this internal dialogue of, should I approach, should I not approach, is this convenient, or should I just keep going to where I'm going? Maybe I have a fucking meeting and it's in 5 minutes, but I'm thinking maybe I could fit in that approach and do it. And it would cause a little bit of stress, and I would feel guilty if I didn't approach, because I was like, fuck, do I not have the balls to do it, and that's why I don't do it? Or maybe logistically it doesn't make sense. So I would have all these things in my mind. And what I did to solve it is to go with the second approach, which is saying, okay, I'm doing what I'm doing throughout my day without thinking about women. So I'm in the gym, I'm not approaching women. I'm, let's say, at work, and back in my day, I was going to an office and there were women there. Obviously, I didn't approach because it doesn't make sense. There's a saying in Spanish where you have the pot, do not put your dick, Donde tengas la olla, no metas la polla. Which is like, whatever gives you food, do not spoil that with your dick, just fucking women there or having some relationships, and then it always ends up backfiring. So anyway, my point is, what I would do is that I would simply say, okay, I'm focusing on those things, and then I set a time where I go to the center of my city, I take a walk, I relax, I'm just, after a day of work, after training, in a great mood because I finished the important things in my day. And now it's time to socialize. Now it's time to, go to the center, maybe with a friend. In the case of my clients, many of them started meeting in the same cities that they were living, and they would approach together. And it's just like you're walking around, you're talking shit, or you're talking about interesting things. Then you see a woman and you say, okay, just a moment. You go approach, then you come back, you laugh a bit with your friend. Or even if you're alone, I like doing it alone as well. You're in your head, just imagining things, or just, thinking about your life in general, or just enjoying the day. It's kind of like meditation. It gets to that point after you have practice and you're feeling more comfortable. And you see a woman that you like, you go approach. And even if you don't approach any woman, you didn't waste your time at all. You relaxed, you took a walk, you're staying active, especially if you drive everywhere, which is the case with many cities in America, is that you don't have that much walking time. So take this as an opportunity of having 30, 60 minutes where you're walking throughout your day, which is amazing for your body. And it's the same for me in Sofia. I wasn't walking too much. And when I was doing approaches, it was great because, it was spring as well, just taking it all in. And you will very quickly realize that this becomes like a very productive habit. And, maybe you just do one approach that 1 hour that you went out for a walk. Maybe you don't do any approach. Maybe someday you do 5 approaches and 4 of them don't work out that well, or 3 of them don't work out that well. 2 give you their number, and then you meet with one and you have a good connection. That could happen. Or whatever you're into in this time, if you just want, even if you just want to hook up, a good connection is still good, right? So anyway, that's one of the advices that I would give you, to do it at the end of your day. Number 2, what I would say is that you could schedule it in between, and this is also an option. I'll give you the example. When I was in Budapest, I was walking to my boxing class training, and it was about like a 20 to 30 minute walk. And what I would do is that I would get out of my house 15 minutes before the time. So if I had 30 minutes to walk there, I would get out of my house 15 minutes before, so that in my walk, if I saw a woman, I had more than enough time to approach her. And actually, what I had in my mind, and I put it as a goal, because I was walking through the center of Budapest, which is a Deák square, and after that, just going through a very large street. And in that time, it was also spring, good weather, and no, actually it was summer, and there were a lot of people in the streets of Budapest, right? So I told myself I have to do one approach before the session, and after the session, one as well. It was a bit more intense in that time, right? But you don't even have to put any pressure of doing the approach if you don't want to. Why? Because just the action of going out and setting the intention, I have these 15 extra minutes, I'm going to look around in case I see a woman that I like, is going to give you enough of a push to do it. And maybe not the first day, but the second, the third, the fourth, you'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And you will see how quickly you start accumulating leads. So in Budapest, when I set this quote unquote challenge of doing one before the session, one after, in one day, for example, I literally got 3 numbers. Imagine that. Like in one day, you get 3 new leads of women that you can potentially see. What kind of abundance is that going to make you feel? And I'm not gonna say that, if you want a relationship, you still, as a man, have to go through the numbers to filter down and find the woman that you truly want to be with. If you want just abundance and sex and, a lot of cool experiences, of course, that's super fine. And you do the same process. But the same process applies if you want a stable relationship. So you do that process. And then when you connect with one of them really well, you can stop doing the approaches, see where that leads you, see where that adventure goes. It's what happened when I met my girlfriend. It was literally, I think, the 4th day that I was going out in Sofia and approaching. I actually met up with a guy that I met online, because I was thinking, it could be fun, just meet with someone, do some approaches. And so first day we go out, it's kind of fun because it had been a while since I did cold approach. Then second day, third day, fourth day, I had some conversations, some approaches, some numbers, but no real spark, no real connection. Then fourth day, I meet my girlfriend. And then, after that, I think I approached one more day because we still hadn't gone on a date. And then when I saw that there was a good connection, then I stopped approaching and, go with that adventure, right? So you can do the same if you want a girlfriend. So this process really worked. And in this case, in Sofia, I was doing it after I had done training in the morning. So training in the morning, I would recommend you, whatever you need to do important in the day, be it the training session, be it your work, I would schedule the approaches towards the end of the day. So afternoon, or even, evening, if you got out of your work a bit later. For example, when I was in Barcelona, and I was going to the office. I mean, I was a partner in the company, but I was still going to the office that we had, and I would end work around 6 p.m. Then I would go with my bike, leasing in Barcelona, like bike sharing service, to the center, and I would approach there, and it was amazing. Again, it was like such a relaxing activity that I could do after a day of logic. And what I say to my clients always is that, okay, you've had your logic moment. You know, you're hustling hard at work, you're doing your fitness, maybe you have some networking, some meetings, whatever. And then towards the end of the day, it's an amazing time to connect with your more emotional side. And when you do it, cold approach, as you know, I teach the framework that I teach, which is based a lot on, you know, being natural, having very little filters, your emotional buttons. It's fucking fun. So it's one of the most fucking fun things ever, you know, especially if you have some friend that you do it with. I've had my close friends that we've done cold approach. We have some of my most epic memories and epic adventures that we've done. And again, you connect with that more emotional side. So you do it in a way where you're not like a super geek trying to, you know, write every single sentence that you say and do. It's not about that. It's just getting yourself into a state that maybe you've felt before, maybe without alcohol, and most of the times with alcohol. So think about that time where you drank and you were in a party, you were feeling good, you were feeling like in a state. Well, imagine if you could do that without alcohol. You're getting into that state, okay? And then you do your cold approach. Even if you don't get a number that day, you still feel amazing. And that's why I recommend it over dating apps, over Instagram, over online dating. Because number one, it gets better results. For most men, there are some men who get amazing results with online dating, but usually they have some sort of status, some sort of fame that goes along with it. But for most guys that don't want to be like fucking influencers or be posting all the time on their Instagram and be posting like these status type of pictures, then cold approach is amazing. And even for those guys, it's amazing as well. And number two, because it's more fun. Like, yes, I've tried some online dating in the past, didn't get very good results, but also it was like, you know, you're on your phone all day. And for work, I'm already with a screen usually. And most of the works nowadays, it's also with a screen. So it's so nice to go out and date without the need of a screen. Like, fuck the screen, you know. You don't even need a phone. I've done cold approaches where my phone was with no battery, and I just tell the girl to get my Instagram and send me a DM later. So anyway, that's the advice for men who are busy and want to fit it into their schedule. Again, there's the two options, which is integrating into your date. I don't recommend this because it's going to create mental stress. Or number two, put in specific time slots where you are actively cold approaching. That could be in between your day, or what I really recommend, which is towards the end of the day, you totally disconnect and enjoy. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want help in this area, you can go to armengoribian.com. That's my website. You will find all the information that you need there. I'll see you in the next video.